Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Tuesday, the 25th of January, 2022. For those of you on Facebook, those of you on YouTube, remember share our social media platform so the rest of the world would know, the rest of Trinidad and Tobago of the Caribbean would also know about Real Talk with Saieed Ali in Trinidad and Tobago. So those of you on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, like and share our Facebook page. On YouTube, if you haven't subscribed us yet, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So a special good night to you, Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you that are locked on to Synergy Network, remember there's a rerun of this program the following day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So those of you who missed it during the night could catch the rerun tomorrow around lunchtime. So viewers, Real Talk Financing and Investment Company is offering you 2.5% on your fixed deposit system. 2.5%. You know, I love to give you the breakdown of how other financial institutions function to how Real Talk Financing function. Now, when you set up a Real Talk investment with us, a fixed deposit investment, you're getting 2.5%. So you all would wonder, how much is 2.5%? So let me break it down like this. If you have $100,000 as a fixed deposit on some other financial institute, you might be getting 1%. 1% of $100,000 is $1,000 per 12 months or per year. Now, Real Talk Financing and Investment Company, on that same $100,000 per year, you can get $2,500. So look at the vast amount. Look at the difference. It's a major difference. If you're getting 1% in a financial institution, we're giving you 2.5. So compare that $1,000 to $1,500 more. $1,500 more on $1,000. And just imagine your money put down there. You're not doing anything with it. You're not withdrawing it. It's just sitting down right there. On a $50,000, $1,250. And in other institution with a rate as 0.05, you might get about $500 for the year. So why not get in touch with Real Talk Financing and Investment Company? 238-6716, 339-1670, or 242-7690. Any one of these three numbers, viewers, and you can speak to our rep. 14 Carnival Savannah Road in Shogunas, or 132 CEPEP Road in San Fernando. That's in the Victoria Village area. Now, viewers, that is for you. Real Talk Financing and Investment Company did that just for you. They are a business under the Real Talk group of companies. So remember that. Remember, Real Talk group of companies, they are made up of real estate, security and intelligence, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, the show on television. We're doing it for you. We're doing it for you, the viewers, and for the citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So as we start our program tonight, viewers, secondary school student in Form 1 to 3 will be required to attend classes at least twice a week when schools reopen for physical classes on February 7th, 2022. Remember, viewers, you can call in our program 238-6716 is our live phone line to call in. Now, the ministry stated that the details of this arrangement for each school will be communicated to parents and students by principals. But all students are required to attend physical at a minimum of 2 days per week and 5 days in a 10-day cycle. It added that teachers have also received their critical areas of curriculum completion, which will allow them to make the most of the physical classes with students. The ministry stated that on Wednesday, teaching should be virtual to allow for throughout school cleaning. It also stated that schools will be mandated to relax school uniform requirement, especially with regards to the color and the type of shoes. So viewers, from the 7th of February 2022, schools will be open physically 2 days per week and 5 days in a 10-day cycle. So we're going to see, we're going to listen for more information coming out from the Ministry of Education concerning physical school attendant. Moving along, all classes at Fatima College, Mukurapo, will be conducted virtually for the remainder of this week after 4 students tested positive for the COVID-19 virus, forcing authorities to switch to online viewers to preserve the health of the school population. Principal Gregory Austin confirmed this and stated that although the Form 5 had been quarantined, the move was taken out of an abundance of caution. Also added that no member of staff have tested positive and that everyone was vaccinated and boosted. So being vaccinated and boosted is good. But I'll be waiting to hear if any vaccinated teacher or student contact the virus. That is what I'll be waiting for. Caller, good night.
Good night, good night. The original imitation vaccine vigorous inside, Saieed.
My friend.
Okay, we're going to get 3,000 shortly just before Carnival. But I am on that tonight. On
Talk to me.
The Police Service Commission. And I figure and analyze why they pull back the merit list. Listen to this. On today's newspaper, the merit list, the names on the merit list was published. 4 people: Gigi, Norton, Christopher, and a fellow by the name of Francis. The current acting COP wasn't on that list. So you understand why somebody will run and pull back the list. Because the person he wanted was not on the list. So if that list was forwarded to Parliament, just like the Dulal Chan, they couldn't do a covert operation like Dulal Chan to remove him because the man's name wasn't on the list. Why the man's name wasn't on the list? 2 things. Is either he wasn't competent enough to be on the merit list or he didn't apply. I think he said he didn't apply. So no way he would have been able to get the Commissioner of Police. And because they wanted to choose him, they had to mash up the play, mash up everything, pull back the list and get a new one. Because it was easy. If you don't want Gary, take it to Parliament. All you had the majority. Or look at a repeated Dulal Chan activity, a protocol. And his name that come up, but his name wasn't on the list. It was outside the list, so they could have never pinged in. So that is what I believe. And according to his mark today, I feel like a bush lawyer now, you know. Not only an imitation vaccine vagrant. And that is it. So waiting to hear people expatiate on that now. Go and have a nice night.
Thank you, my friend. Moving along, viewers, government and opposition MPs have responded to report that a letter from the management of the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program, that is CEPEP, instructed contractors to cut their staff by 2/3. Last week, a letter from CEPEP management or managers was sent to at least 2 contractors who said that it would take away the livelihood of those in need of employment. One contractor also questioned the decision, stating that no reason or explanation was given for the cut. Contacted for comment, Lopino, Bon Air West MP Marvin Gonzalez said that as of Monday, he had not heard about any such cut. In a media release from Couva South MP Really not embarrassing. No. Did not indicate whether he had also received complaints from constituents over the proposal cut, but criticized the government for the instructions. In a release, Endarasinghe questioned the reason for the cuts and accused the government for not seeing the best interest of those in need. Remember, our Prime Minister said it's about saving the livelihoods. So how did he intend to save the livelihoods? By cutting CEPEP workers? Now listen this. Listen this. On Monday's program, we mentioned to you that rental money went for salaries. The rental money that the government supposed to pay went for salaries. So I am asking myself, the money that was allocated for salaries, where did that money go? Because remember, we're in a pandemic. Remember, business were closed. Remember, people were home. So I'm asking myself, where did the salary money go? And why it is they had to use the rental money to pay salary and wages when people were on a rotational base and some were home? That is a question to Alison West. Why take rental money to pay wage and salary when half of the population were home? Well, let's talk now, man. I'm waiting to hear what ministers have to say. I ain't hear nobody say nothing. I ain't hear nobody say anything. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
I have something to say, right? You see this thing with Gary Griffith? He caused that on himself. If he did do the job, instead of running down Ram Logan in Gulf City, if he did follow up on Camille Rogerson's thing, if he did follow up on AV drilling, if he follow up on all these things, the gang, he come out and said the government is running gangs, paying gangs to do work, hiring gangs to do work. If he did follow up on those things, Rowley and them would be in jail right now. Alright?
Correct.
And the next thing to the media is not doing the job. When Kamala was charged with the marijuana, they hung down Jack Warner to find out this and that. When Partap's son did get caught drinking and driving,
yes.
Partap and then went straight to PNM. I ain't hear nothing about Gopi Schoon saying nothing. She'll come out and say nothing. And he wants to blame the press. The press had nothing to do with him getting arrested or charged. It's the police, it's PNM, went there and tell the police on radio. Don't blame the media. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So now, viewers, like I said just now, COVID-19, we're in a pandemic. People home. People on rotation. But the government saying they had to use the rental money to pay for salary and wages. So where did all the money go for salary and wages that has been allocated in last year's budget? This is something I want to know. And I want to hear what the opposition now have to say concerning this. Where did all the salary and wages money go? Why use rental money to pay salary and wages? So what are we going to cut now to pay rent? What are they going to do? They're going to send home CEPEP workers to save money to put it back to pay rent? And then the Prime Minister saying, you know, it's all about saving the livelihoods. Really? That maths ain't adding up. That maths is not mathsing. Because it's not adding up. So here it is. MPs, given the financial humble profile of CEPEP workers who will be fired, workers deal with their job loss status amidst rising food price, rising utility rates, and other economic hardship. Now, in last night's UNC virtual meeting, Orput East MP Rudal Munilal described the instructions as oppressive and slammed the government for that decision.
Today, we heard the very tragic news that they intend to take away the livelihood. They intend to take bread from the table of 6,000 CEPEP workers. Mr. Indar Singh has spoken and has sent a release on that, but it's something we must bear in mind that at a time like now, when you don't have food, you do not have jobs, many people, when there are households where one person is working in CEPEP and that entire household depends on that income, that person can lose their job.
Now viewers, that was Mr. Munilal on the last night UNC virtual meeting down in Orput side. Now listen this. However, today, Kazem Hussein clarified that no workers will be cut. That's what he said. No workers will be cut. But hopefully, we will have more on this for you tomorrow night. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, there's lots more in store when we return right here on Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali. Consultant and real estate businessman.
Can't watch Real Talk on TV? Have no fear. You can also watch Real Talk on the go live on YouTube and Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali on YouTube.com and TT Real Talk on Facebook.com. Don't forget to like us and share us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Carnival Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716 for further information. Our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Carnival Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. So we're moving on now, viewers. We're moving on to the Minister of Finance, our very important minister. So here it is. We have a caller. Caller, good night.
Good night. Good night. I'm inside again. The original imitation vaccine variant. I want to share my thoughts on that CEPEP fiasco. Listen to me. That restructuring, and it has to come to pass, because when the man says shut the freight, we are closing down Petrotrain. That is another strategy using it. They say they're not closing it down now, but yes, they're going to tell you when they're closing it down. But this is what happened. That is a decision to strategically align the beneficiaries of the CEPEP contractors and workers to the Balize. Now, you have, a philosophical saying is, your action binds you or free you. So let me identify actions and where I'm going with it. Sandy Grandi, former MP, said nothing for the yellow jersey. All right? When you make a decision to shrink the amount of money allocated for CEPEP, then you can't have the same amount of people employed. So what they will do, they will weed out people who is not in line with the Balize. And how are they going to do it? They're going to do it by way of a means test or means analysis. And two of the criteria that I'm sure on the list is one, membership. You must have a Balize tag on your chest or in your back pocket. Two, you must belong to some sort of party group, the Cosa Nostra, the body of wrongdoers. Now, let us see how that relates to other activities. Gate cutting. They cut gates significantly, right? Why are they doing that? Remember, you don't have the resources again, so it is shrink, the pie is shrink. There was a lady by the name of Jule Williams. You remember what she did? She had a back pocket list of scholarship, not the meritocracy list for scholarship, She had a back pocket a means test of identifying, and that's where they come with the other operation, bursary. So you ain't get gate, you're still not left out, You can come through the back door and get a bursary, and you have to do a means test. So the means test had nothing to do with meritocracy,
Thank you, my friend. So now, viewers, we're moving into our very own important minister, Minister Colin Imbud. So listen to this. Minister of Finance Colin Imbud has announced that the state expenditure in the Ministry of Social Development is $5 billion per year. And that $4 billion per year is used on senior citizens' pension. Speaking at the Standing Finance Committee reports yesterday, Imbud stated that it is a huge amount of money and rejected claims by the opposition that the state was not taking care of the vulnerable through social grants. He added that any country which is the size of TNT, right, that spend $5 billion a year in social grant has to be among the leaders in the world. Listen to this short man.
I want to reiterate that the expenditure in the Ministry of Social Development, that has been supplemented by the additional $500 million, is $5 billion a year or more. And that the expenditure on senior citizens' pension is $4 billion. That's a huge amount. So therefore, I reject the histrionics of the member for Chaguanas East. Any country of the size of Trinidad and Tobago that spends $5 billion a year on social grants has to be among the leaders in the world in terms of the amount of money it spends on taking care of the poor and the vulnerable.
Leaders in the world. That is what he said. Leaders in the world. If you're spending $5 billion or $4 billion to take care of senior citizens, you have to be a leader in the world. Now listen to this. Listen to this. I'll go bored when all I hear this. He noted that $4 billion spent to assist 100,000 senior citizens with pension.
In fact, I am told Trinidad and Tobago is a world leader in terms of the amount of money that we spend taking care of our senior citizens, the disabled, and the socially disadvantaged. It is not, to use a colloquialism, $5 billion, Madam Speaker, is not chick feed. It is a huge sum of money. And of that, $4 billion, and I'll repeat this as much as is necessary, is spent on assisting over 100,000 senior citizens in terms of a senior citizen's pension.
So you hear that, viewers? 100,000 senior citizens. They're splitting $4 billion. 100,000. And he said to be spending $5 billion on social grants, that country have to be in the world leading. We have 1.4 million people. And he is only assisting 100,000 senior citizens. And in assisting 100,000 senior citizens with pension, we are leaders in the world. Caller, good night.
Hello?
Go right ahead.
Yeah, man. I'm a young caller for the first time. And
welcome to Real Talk, my friend.
Yeah, man. And yes, make some very valid contributions on the day coming on, and I appreciate that as a young person. And it just goes to show that the people in this country need to kind of open up their eye. They need to open up their eye because it's not now that's going on, you know. It's years upon years is going on. Years upon years is going on. And people in the country right now, they're stifled. They can't, even if you want to make a move to go forward, you're stifled. They can't go forward, they can't go backward, you know. So I hope that you just keep encouraging people and just do the correct thing when the day comes, you know.
I understand. Thank you, my friend. 4,000. 40,000 per person? So viewers, hear this. Hear this. Here, I cannot go forward. Hear this. He noted that $4 billion is spent to assist 100,000 senior citizens with pension. We just checked. We divided $4 billion by 100,000 senior citizens. How much we getting? 40,000 per citizen. I want somebody to do the maths home. Divide 4 billion by 100,000 and see what all they're getting. Because my staff, we getting 40,000 unless they make a mistake. So somebody, while the show going on, or let's do the maths and set it in for me. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here. 4 of them here. Divided 4 billion by 100,000 and we came up with 40,000 per person. 40,000 per person. And how much money are senior citizens collecting presently? About 3,000. Caller, good night.
Good night, sir. Good night to you and good night to Trinidad and Tobago. I just had to say that this government, you have to care them for a drug test, a random drug test, because everybody in this PNM government, their head shaking. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. $4 billion to assist 100,000 senior citizens with pension. 4 of my staff, we just divided $4 billion by 100,000 senior citizens, and we came up to 40,000 per person. You see why I just like to break it down and bring it to all you? So I want somebody now who looking at Real Talk, a mathematician or a school teacher. All you divide 4 billion by 100,000 senior citizens and see what all you're getting. See if all you're getting 40,000 per person. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Good night, Mr. Said.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Said, you're real. Not only real talk, you are real. You said those ministers' car would be spinning on the highway as if they are seeing cars start spinning. Congratulations.
Thank you, my friend. Let's see how things happen. Let's see how things happen. My dear, thank you so much for your comments. So viewers, I want you to check that. 100,000 senior citizens and they have $4 billion to spend. How much they getting? How much they getting? 3 and 4,000? Or 40,000 per person? Call it good night.
Good evening, Mr. Said.
My friend, I know you are a very, very brilliant individual. I want you to do the maths and give me the answer.
All right, Said. So it's 100,000 people
Yes.
we're talking about.
100,000 senior citizens divide by $4 billion.
And it is $3,500 a month the old age pension is. So that works up to be $4.2 billion.
All right.
For the year that is paid. So that works out to be about $42,000 for annually each pensioner is get. But the bottom line with all the situation side is if they manage this pension plan properly, is the pensioners them own money, they're paying them back, you know. This is the money that people work their whole life for. And they tax you and take this money and put it in their pension fund so that when you reach the age of retirement, you're entitled to that. So it's not like they come in and taking this money out of them pocket and paying the pensioners them it, you know. This is when you and I work, we paying tax. Every single thing that we do. When we go to the grocery, we water bill, every single thing that we're doing right now. Right now you on airtime day. You paying a tax when you pay your fees.
Yes.
So when you retire, you entitled to get a pension from that. Now, if the government cannot manage this fund properly, there is all kind of corruption, taking the money and using it elsewhere. Obviously, they will come now and make a big scene and say that, oh, look, they're spending $4 billion on pensioners. But that is nothing compared to the tax break they just get.
Correct.
Why they don't exempt themselves from all the tax exemption we did just get for the last 15 years?
Correct.
Him but maybe get over $2 million in tax exemption since he's a politician. And plus he will get a big pension when he resigns.
Correct.
You understand? So these people have to be heartless when they're talking about old poor people. And you know the next thing or they're ridiculing themselves. They're talking about how much the government doing for the people and how low the unemployment rate is in this country. But yet you're telling the population on the other hand now how much people the government supporting through unemployment and health, self-help programs. Now I tell you, I cannot believe nothing these people are saying. And people have to wake up and understand what's going on. Have a good night, Mr. Said. Enjoy the rest of
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, staying on social development. The Minister of Social Development has received $531 million in supplementary funds to meet senior citizen pension, public assistance grants, and disability grants in 2021. Social Development Minister Donna Cox stated that her ministry continued to carry out its mandate of maintaining TNT's safety net, including support to mitigate COVID-caused issue. She stated that the ministry obtained an additional $40 million for COVID grants. Listen to this.
Madam Chair, the supplementation and variation of appropriation for the fiscal year 2021 emanated from the additional expenditure related to COVID-19 social support grants, phase 2, in the sum of $40 million. Additional funding was also required to meet expenses related to the 3 major grants, namely the Senior Citizens Pension, Disability Assistance Grant, and Public Assistance Grant in the sum of $548 million. The Ministry remains resolute in the delivery of a responsive and multifaceted social service system, caring for and the protection of our poor and vulnerable families from the multidimensional impacts of poverty are areas of focus as we invest in the development of the people needing it the most.
So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to continue on this topic.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Carnival Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Carnival Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716 for further information. Our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Welcome back, viewers. Now listen this. However, Donna Cox stated that $531 million increased was received to address a shortfall last year as grants increased over time.
Bearing in mind that these services are established services of the Ministry of Social Development, why was this placed on the back burner, if I may say, in terms of effecting payments to cause it to lead to this increase, stated $531 million?
This was not placed on the back burner. This was to address a shortfall. And you would know that our grants, our applications and so on increase over time.
So now, viewers, she also added that there have been no delays and grants have been paid on time.
Can the Minister state for us whether, based on her reports in previous SFCs, as well as the Ministry's administrative report, whether the delays in determination of matters or applications in terms of senior citizens' pension, disability grants, and public assistance would have caused some of these applications to be, the delays in these applications would have caused you to have to request this increase?
No, this has nothing to do with delays in application. Actually, we have always paid our grants, these are our core grants, on time.
Madam Chair, based on the Minister's reporting, 2,000 plus persons under senior citizens' pension would have been delayed in this fiscal year, at the end of this fiscal year 2021, due to the lack of investigation and approval. So I'm asking the Minister if these delays under the senior citizens, in addition to that, disability and public assistance, would have amounted to this sum of money as well?
No, this has nothing to do with money.
Question asked and answered. I believe that question was asked and answered, Member of Chaguanas East, so maybe you can go on to another question if you have.
But nevertheless, you know, they always have some sort of back and forth in Parliament. But here it is. The sum of these three disability totaled $531 million. $418 million for senior citizen pension, $13.1 million for public assistance, and $99.6 million in disability grant. A review of grants is currently being done by the Social Development Ministry. So viewers, now if they do a review of this and they realize they need to cut 2,000, what's going to happen with 2,000 pensioners, public assistant, or disabled person. What's going to happen? Caller, good night.
Good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
I went, I check in your maths here. I went to NAPS. I leave NAPS 60 years ago. All right? 3,000 pension. They work to figure out. 3,000 by 12 months a year is 36,000. 36,000 multiplied by 100,000 is $3.6 billion. So who takes the next $0.4 billion? That's going to what? Family? That's 3.6 billion only. I saw my maths right.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Our answers, we're looking for answers because I will tell you something. 100,000 is plenty, you know. $100,000 missing is plenty, you know. I want to let you understand that. $100,000 missing is plenty, you know. Some of you going to say, oh, that's just 100,000. If you had that 100,000, it would have been good for you. So listen to this. Princeton MP Barry Patharat is warning that Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali should take responsibility if after Carnival there is a spike in COVID-19 cases. Patharat was critical or criticized of the decision to host a taste of Carnival come 2022. He said, Rowley knew Carnival was scheduled for February 28th and March 1st and should have held proper consultation with stakeholders to better prepare and manage the event to be hosted. Now, Patharat demanded to know what advice was preferred by the CMO, Dr. Roshan Parashram, and the stakeholders in terms of medical fraternities on hosting any type of Carnival activity in TNT. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
All right. Watching at your show. And the 4 billion, if you go to work at all, the questions you have to ask Mr. Imbut, the normal pension for the aged people who are not entitled to NIS receive $3,500. When you are if you are entitled to the NIS pension of $3,000, your old age pension is $2,500.
Correct.
What Mr. Imbut has to tell us is how much people collected NIS and getting the old age and how much not collecting NIS and getting the old age. But he has categorized it as 100,000 people. Right? So whereby if you categorize 100,000 people by 3,500, you will get the $4 billion. But by that, he has to come and give us the figures, the data and the figures, how much people get in the NIS pension.
Correct.
That's only entitled to $2,500.
Well said.
Right? So then again, you're short of $1,000 from the 3,005 to 2005.
Correct.
So what we need to know is the figures for the NIS people and the old age pensioners people.
Well said, my friend.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. So you see, viewers, you see how answers is becoming in? Not just because the minister say, well, you know, we're spending $4 billion with 100,000. You need to break it down. You need to break it down. And that's just a tip of the iceberg I throw out, you know. Just a tip of the iceberg that I throwed out into the public domain. Caller, good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
My friend, go right ahead.
Said, I was reading this Sandy John report concerning Gary Griffith and this FUL controversy.
Yes.
Where they bring in forth for the man they were. I sit down and read that thing. And everything that I read here, Stanley John only interviewed this person, he interviewed that person, he interviewed this person, and everybody here say them say, she say. I want to know, right? I try to figure out something here. I want to know if Gary Griffith decides that the story state for defamation of character, because from my understanding here now, they have hard copy evidence against the man, you know. They just blaming the man for taking bribes to give FUL on the side. This is what I am reading here, you know. It's just go coming forward and saying what they think happening here and think happening here, and they're accusing the man. So, my question is, right, Saeed, if it is this man to sue the state for how much a million, who it is going to pay that money and taxpayers?
Correct.
Ask yourself this question. So who it is losing all day? So if Stanley John's so good and he could go into that FUL situation and find out what's going on there, why didn't put he to probe all the hospital to find out why people dying?
Ah, well said.
Why didn't do that? Why didn't send him license office to find out why people duplicating fake license? And put Rowan Serna on the Express. And I find the Express does run with some kind of article side. It's like I don't know where they're getting the information from, if they're confirming anything, and they just printing rubbish on the papers, boy, side. I don't know, it's like, boy. Anyway, side, you enjoy the night.
Thank you, my friend. Now, I don't want to discredit any papers. They have a right to do their work. Now, whether they do truth or false, at the end of the day, that external paper, they carry their news. They carry their news. But I know when I bring something here on Real Talk, or let's see documents and or let's see facts behind it, or let's see video clips, or let's see photo of documents. That is why we name it Real Talk with Saieed Ali. And that is why, viewers, we got the third best news forecast in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. If I had money like them to other station, watch me, would I be competition, you know? Take what I tell you now. It would have been serious competition, you know. But nevertheless, hopefully that I would get my Real Talk Credit Union approval soon. You know, so I could be able to roll in the finance now. Enough? We go roll with the finance with the big boys. The credit union might pay for me, you know. I might become second. You never know if the credit union ain't going to sponsor Real Talk. You never know. You never know. But nevertheless, I ain't going to beg nobody to support Real Talk. I've never done that in the last 3 years and some months gone by, and I ain't intend to do it now. The only thing I beg another to do is to support a little food drive when I'm keeping it, because I want to let us share the blessings. That's all. So moving on now, despite a decrease in the daily number of COVID-19 cases over the past week, Principal Medical Officer Dr. Marian Abdul-Richards predicted an upsurge in cases with the spread of the Omicron variant. Dr. Abdul-Richards stated that the ministry have noted an increase in numbers over the last 2 days and are predicting that there will be a demand for an increased number of beds.
At this point in time in Trinidad and Tobago, 66 out of 80 patients out of 80 activated ICU beds are filled. This gives an ICU occupancy nationally of 83%. Furthermore, over the last 95 days, we have noticed an average ICU occupancy of 89%, which means on any given day, up to 9 out of 10 beds will be filled. We now have the advent of Omicron in our population, and our ICU beds are almost filled. We have noted the increase in numbers over the last 2 days, and this leads us to predict that there will be a demand for increased number of beds across the system.
She also mentioned that the virus continues to evolve, making it difficult to adapt. Dr. Abdul-Richards stated that the ministry will continue to try their best to increase capacity to ensure the quality of care that every patient receives is the national guidelines. She added that resources are limited and urged the population to review the certainties of the treatment of COVID-19 and get vaccinated as it reduces numerous risks.
We continue as a courageous and resilient medical team to try our best to increase capacity, and we also continue to try to ensure that the quality of care that every single patient receives is to national guidelines and is in compliance with these guidelines. However, resources are limited, and eventually they may be expended. We would like to ask the population, and we know you're informed and that there's a lot of research and reading around COVID-19, and this is a global trend. But we ask you to review the certainties of the treatment of COVID-19. Firstly, vaccination has been proven to be safe and effective in reducing the risk of hospitalization. It reduces your risk of transmitting the virus and the variants to your vulnerable relatives. That is the elderly, young children who cannot be vaccinated.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, we're going to return right after this.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Carnival Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Carnival Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716 for further information. Our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Just a quick rundown in Tobago. 2 men from Tobago were ordered to have no contact with a 13-year-old girl after allegedly sexual assaulting her. The men, a 26-year-old man and a 22-year-old, were each charged with 1 count of sexual penetration when they appeared before a Scarborough magistrate on January 24, 2022. The 26-year-old was granted bail in the sum of $250,000 or a cash alternative of $25,000, while the 22-year-old was granted a bail in the sum of $145,000 with cash alternative of $14,500. Both men were ordered to stay at least 100 feet away from the girl and to have no contact with her. According to police reports, the men and the girl were at a secluded area on January 21st, 2022. When the incident occurred, a report was made on January 22nd, and the men were arrested and charged the following day. Investigations are ongoing. A 33-year-old woman charged with child cruelty was granted $60,000 bail when she appeared before Justice of the Peace Stephen Young on January 22nd. She is expected to appear before a Port of Spain magistrate on February 11, 2022 to answer the charges. According to a report, a relative of the victim told police that the minor was at home with her mother, who allegedly became upset when the child told her father that she had nothing to eat for 2 days. Wow. The woman allegedly grabbed the girl by her neck, causing bruises. She then attempted to hit the child with a bench, which resulted in the child sustaining bruises on her hand. An officer of Child Protection Unit in the Northeastern Division conducted an investigation into the matter, which resulted in the arrest and subsequent charge of the 33-year-old unemployed mother with the offense of child cruelty. Wow. Sad boy. It really, really sad. Child told her father she hadn't eaten for 2 days, or she did not get any food for 2 days, and because of that, it is alleged that the mother picked up a bench to hit the child. It's really, really sad. You know, viewers, in Trinidad, there's a lot of things going on that doesn't even reach the media. It doesn't even reach the media. But you know, children is something they didn't ask to come into the world. They came into the world because of sexual interaction. The woman got pregnant, gave birth, and there they are. So it is our duty to see about them. Our duty to see about them. So viewers, we have a couple minutes left, but I just want to remind you. That property tax should be paid, I believe the ending up of this month. The ending up of this month. So tonight I am here to tell you, I would not be paying any property tax. And if there's a penalty, well then carry me to court. And I am going to ask the magistrate, why should I have to pay property tax when the Minister of Finance got exempted from paying property tax from a multi-million-dollar property in Port of Spain? But you brought a penalty on the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to make sure that they pay property tax. But you as the minister exempted yourself and others who have dwelling homes. You know, when you have a big structure, a big building, and you're renting out apartments, those who have those type of building are exempted from rent. I believe Mr. Embert has one of those buildings, so he is exempted from rent. But is forcing us, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to pay rent. Not rent, but property tax. And also, if you refuse to pay property tax, there is a penalty if you refuse. So our minister got an exemption. That's number one. Number two, you have to pay property tax by force. And what do we say? We say great is Colin Embert. We say great is the PNM. So all those PNM people, I want you to understand something. Your PNM Minister of Finance exempted himself because he had one of those fancy buildings that have a lot of apartments in it to rent out. But you being a PNM voter, I'm not apologizing for this, you know. But this is the truth. It is the truth. The PNM supporters have to pay property tax. Otherwise, a $5,000 penalty fee you will have to pay. I want you to understand where I'm coming from. But your PNM finance minister exempted himself from property tax. What do you all say now? What are you all saying now? Let's say something. I want you all to say great is the PNM. I am not going to apologize for this because it is the facts. It is the facts that you are dealing with come the end of January. So who you balling? Great is who now? Huh? Great is who now? So you are being forced to pay property tax. Let me tell you something. I ain't paying none, you know. I ain't paying none. Because the minister owns a multi-story building that rent out apartments. He bring out that to exempt himself. He brought out that to exempt himself. I want to let us say something now. I want to let us say something. I want to let us say great is calling him, but great is the PNM when they force all you to pay all your tax. When they force all you to pay property tax, you must say great is the PNM. So viewers, nevertheless, we are out of time for tonight. We are out of time for tonight. For those of you who are looking at Real Talk with Saieed Ali, you have known for the last 4 years, all you're getting is the facts, and the facts. So until we meet again, viewers, I want you all to be safe. I want you all to open your intellect and understand what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Rerun of this program is tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. And until we meet again for Public Concerns Night, be safe and enjoy the night.